Big talk there and a big challenge. Excited to continue our talk about the power of we and hospitality. The next talk is titled The Need for Hospitality, and Luzada Hayes is going to get into that in more detail. She's an impact officer with United Way. She's worked in the social sector for many, many years and is an expert in collaborative solutions and poverty. So let's give a big round of applause for Luzada.
Good evening. As you've heard, I work at United Way, and we have a yard sign outside our front door promoting E is for everyone. Perhaps you have one of those. So this is our sign. Our office is on a beaten path from the First Avenue area to the downtown social services, and we usually have a steady stream of foot traffic through our parking lot. It's not uncommon that I see a group of folks gathered around our E is for everyone sign, and they start kind of shaking their head, and they start talking to each other, and I can almost read their minds. That might be true for some people. That's not true for me. So tonight I wonder with you if hospitality could be a vehicle that we could use to ensure that E really is for everyone. So last week, I traveled to Los Angeles for a work conference, and knowing I was going to give this talk, I tried to notice the different types of hospitality that I encountered. So let's start with the airlines. I hadn't traveled for a while, and I was surprised to learn that I had options for my ticket based on what I was willing to pay. So there's first class. Now, I've only viewed this from behind the curtain. I've never actually experienced that. Then there was main cabin. I could select my seat, and I could have an extra carry-on. My third choice was economy. With economy, I did not get to select my seat, and I was only allowed a personal item that had to go in the seat in front of me. I learned the hard way that on a longer flight, paying a little extra to select your seat is a very good idea. Now, the hotel far exceeded the hospitality of the airlines. Sorry if there's any airline folks in the crowd. Everyone at the hotel had a smile on their face, and I knew they were there to make my experience a royal experience. And this level of hospitality was offered to everyone. They had no idea what I had paid for my room. Everyone received the same high-quality experience. They had to have had a great training program because every employee knew that customer service was valued and that it was expected. So my question tonight is, what difference would it make if we could embed that quality customer service into our community? Because for many in our city, E isn't for everyone. They may feel that E is for elite, or E might be for excluded. Or to some, E seems like it's only for first-class residents. You know, hospitality is powerful because it's remembered. In a former career, I facilitated a group of service providers, and these were frontline staff, and I knew that there were not many perks that went along with their jobs. So I decided to make a homemade pastry or treat for every monthly meeting we had. And that was just a simple thing. But 7 to 10 years later, when I meet some of those same people, guess what they talk to me about? I remember when you brought those desserts or those treats to that meeting. Just that small expression of hospitality meant so much to them. And then I want to think about, how about our churches? Is hospitality shared in a non-partial way, or is it based on who you are, or how long you've been there, or some other standard? Could hospitality be provided to everyone that enters your doors so that they always have a memorable experience? The most important place I think hospitality needs to be demonstrated is in our homes. What if we made an intentional effort to embed hospitality into our homes, not only for our guests, but also for every member of our family? You know, that's the best place for our children to learn what it looks like, what it feels like, and how to offer it to others. So this movement of community-wide hospitality can start with you. If you don't like what you see around you, if there's negativity, or anger, or hostility, if there's distrust, if there's, you can fill in the blank, you can actually change your environment with hospitality. Why? Because hospitality begins and ends with relationship, and everyone wins. The person receiving hospitality feels valued. They feel significant. They feel that someone cares. They gain a sense of comfort and safety. They don't feel alone anymore. And hope begins to grow. They feel a sense of belonging. And when we feel like we belong, we care about what we do. We care about what we say, and we start caring about the other person. Having worked for 20 years or so with individuals experiencing a housing crisis, I heard over and over again how invisible they felt. They reported that people would intentionally cross the street so that they wouldn't encounter them. They talked about people rolling up their car windows if they were walking on the sidewalk. They talked about people looking right through them as if they didn't even exist, as if they were deliberately avoiding them at all costs. Unfortunately, there are probably many groups in our community that feel invisible. And that's a lonely existence. But hospitality that leads to relationship is the first step to break through that wall of isolation. John Maxwell summed it up like this: people don't care what you know until they know how much you care. For the person offering hospitality, we gain too. We feel a sense of purpose because we're adding value to someone else's life. We grow in empathy. As we spend time with other people getting to know them and their story, we'll be able to see life from their perspective. And when this happens, we become less judgmental and less quick to offer unhelpful advice based on our own story. And we focus less on ourselves and our problems, and our mental health actually improves. The community would change too. I think we would see a reduction in tension, animosity, anger, hostility, and fear. Crime rates might actually drop. Civility would return, and a community-wide sense of unity and belonging would begin to spread. We would start looking out for one another and develop a personal and communal sense of well-being that becomes contagious. We need hosts and hostesses for Evansville, willing to offer hospitality in their environments. What difference can one person make? What difference could 100 people make? Join me in finding out. Let's strive for the title, Most Hospitable City, and be intentional to demonstrate through hospitality that E really is for everyone. It starts tonight, and it starts with you.